Hello and welcome to the two-man power trip of wrestling. I'm your host, JP John Paz. With me today, a very special guest, NWA Crockett Cup 2023 winner, of course, former Deep South Tag Team Champion. He was in the WWF. He was in the Aces and Eights, if you remember that from
Yes.
the TNA days. Yes, he is Mr. Mike Knox. Knoxy, welcome to the two-man
Oh
power trip. How
man.
you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good, dog. Real good, man. A lot of memories you just brought back there. Deep South Tag Champions. Wow. That was a long time ago, bro.
Going way back. Yeah, way deep there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is going on with you? What is the latest? Because I know NWA's got a big show. HP Highland Park cares for Cooper, a big charity show for Cooper Roberts and his family.
Yeah. Really cool, man. Me and Trevor gonna be there. We're gonna be, shoot, I almost wish we could defend the Crockett Cup,
Yep.
But we're gonna go there. We got a couple days of taping. We got an awesome charity show. There's gonna be a lot of people on it, a lot of champions. It's gonna be a fun deal. I'm pretty happy to be part of it. So whoever, I think it's, I'm not sure, but
Talos and Daisy Kills is
oh
the
yeah,
matchup for you guys. Yes.
we're gonna kick their asses. Oh, good. Yeah, I'm glad it's them.
Yeah, it's you and Murdoch against Daisy and Talos. Yeah, you guys are you're probably gonna mess them up a little bit
Oh yeah,
there.
oh yeah, it's good, man. After the Crockett Cup, man, we're jacked up. My mind's been going all these different places, so yeah, it's gonna be sick.
I love it, and of course that's 7-8, which is coming up in a few days, and it's going to be, of course, in Highland Park, Chicago. So big time charity event for the NWA. It's awesome that you guys are doing that. I feel like that's I don't know, a step up above and beyond. I love that.
Yeah, real good, man. That's Billy's territory. That's where he lives. That's his home. That's his heart's in that neighborhood, and it shows. You know what I mean? So anything we can do to help, I'm more than happy.
Of course, everybody check out NWA on Fight TV. Go to nationalwrestlingalliance.com or go to NWA Tix for more information as far as anything and everything involving the NWA. But as far as you and you're concerned, how do you feel winning the Crockett Cup? And how do you feel about the team with Murdoch? Because it seems like two big old badass boys there teaming together.
Um, Honestly, man, I kind of think we caught lightning in a bottle. When I came back to NWA, like I came back to beat the crap out of him. You know what I mean? Like I knew him and I've known him for a long time. You know what I mean? It's
Yep.
like over the first couple run-ins with me and him, you know what I mean? Shit, he won me over quick, real quick. He's tough, he's fast, you know what I mean? Like he's no nonsense, kind of like me. We kind of understand each other. We kind of think the same in there. We kind of think the same in the back. You know what I mean? That's which is
Yep.
as scary as that is. It's yeah, it's real good. I love teaming with Trevor. I think that we're gonna go a long way, man. We're gonna open some eyes, I think.
To me, that team, it's like, I don't know, if you're standing on the other side of the ring, I mean, unless you're like Tyrus and Adonis, but even they're, maybe even intimidated a little bit. But it's just like, wow, you got these two monster guys, bigger than most of the other, rosters in some other organizations. But you and Trevor, I mean, that's two big boys right there, two big hosses.
Yeah, yeah, man. We can both throw, man. We can both go too. It's like I think the wrestling is starting to fall into this, like the smaller guy, a lot of flips, a lot of movement, like closer to like the luchador style. You know what I
Yep.
mean? A lot of flying, a lot of flying. Man, they forgot about them old hosses. You know what I mean? Like they forgot about the Bruiser Brodies and the Stan Hansons and the freaking Doctor Deaths. You know what I mean? The Gordys. Like those guys will get in there, and it's like real. You know what I mean? Lace
Yes.
them up tight. You know what I mean? You see your name across from theirs, you go, okay, well, tonight ain't a night off, is it? Like,
Something about that I miss in wrestling,
yeah,
or in other places you miss it. It's like, wow, the big guy who's actually threatening actually looks like it to the casual fan. Like, holy shit, like something's gonna happen here. Like
yeah,
this guy's scary. I like those, like you guys. I mean, big guys that look legit.
yeah. I love it, man. Like, just I don't do a lot of like looking back and like as anybody who's ever like tried to follow me on social media knows, like I suck at it. You know what I mean? Like I try, but I don't look backwards a lot at those pictures. I'm pretty hard on myself. Like I was like, oh shoot, I should have knocked his tooth out there. I should have done this
Mhm.
there, like whatever. You know what I mean? Like, but when I went back and looked at some of those pictures, me and Trevor coming down, I mean, shit, if I was on the other side, I'd be scared. Holy crap. You know what I mean? Ain't it's nothing like that in a long time. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
and especially with that similar kind of upper echelon wind, striking ability, being able to freaking be smart out there, like working with what you hit. Like I said, it's there's something to be said about years in the business and being able to translate over numbers of years. I started in 1998. Half of these guys weren't even born, dude. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I've been going at a high level for longer than most of these guys have been alive. And so is Trevor. He started in 98 too, man. We're the same age. We kind of traveled. I mean, shoot, I was on the West Coast doing my thing, like in Mexico and going to Japan and like, you know what I mean, running the smaller towns down in the deserts and stuff with Navajo. You know what I mean? Like that was my stuff. That was what I was doing, and he was doing the same thing, just different companies from the from the St. Louis area with Harley. And like I said, there's something to be said about being able to stay in the business relatively healthy and on promotions that matter. You know what I mean? Like when you're looking at the grand scheme of things, it's not just running indies and doing things like that. Like we've consistently ended up in the bigs. You know what I mean? Like for a long, long period of time, like between us, sheesh, it's like 50 years experience combined. That's
pretty
insane.
nuts. Yep.
That means that you ain't throwing jack at us and we ain't seen 100 times. You know what I mean? 100 times. So it's like we get in there and it's whatever we're looking across from. I hate to say like, oh hey, yeah, I've been there, done that. Like I remember this, or I can relate him to him, or I can relate this guy to Big Show, or this guy to Kali, or this guy to freaking old Pillman tapes, or this guy to Dynamite. Like it's not like you're gonna shock me. You know what I mean? I've seen it, and I've probably been beat up by somebody who does it better than you're doing it now. You know what I mean? Like
definitely,
bro. I was in there with Fit. I was in there with Benoit. We know what I mean? Like Regal. These guys ain't. They're one of the last holds of those old shooters.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That like they know that old circus act from back in the day. You know what I mean? Like they hurt people then. You know what I mean? Like they know how to do it. It's like, whew, man. It's like I said, now you're not gonna throw nothing at me that I haven't seen. They threw some pretty weird stuff at me. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And some of it seemed like torture at the time. But nobody's gonna ever surprise me again with it. You know what I mean? That stuff gets tattooed into you as a person. Like, yeah. So we're ready, man. I don't think me and Trevor we're on the same wavelength right now. And we are gonna mow some fools.
How the heck did you guys get together, like, to begin with? Is that like a Billy pairing? Is that you guys? How did you guys get together and pair it up?
Man, it was after the second. I can't remember if it was the second match that we did together or the third one. The one where I tried to hit him with the bell, and the ref stopped me. Yeah, the one where I tried to hit him with the bell, and then we kind of came back, and there was a moment of that, like, are we going to fight again, or is it like, just us in the locker room now, bro? Like, what's up?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, holy shit.
Yeah, we cool? We're not cool?
Yeah. You know what I mean? And so we started talking, have a drink, you know what I mean? Take a walk, do our, start talking and start realizing, okay, crap. All right. Maybe I was wrong a little about you before. You know what I mean? Like, maybe that place does do things to people where you don't act like yourself. Cause you seem all right to me now. You know what I mean? Like maybe all the stuff I heard from everybody, maybe it was a lie. Who knows? You know what I mean? Different times. So like we started talking a little bit, and then me and Matt, we were doing our thing. Me and Cardona, and we're supposed to have the whole family, but it's like, shoot, man, he ain't always around, and when he is, he doesn't make the greatest decisions, for the business, for us. You know what I mean? Like, we get Rolando in here, and we're working these guys and those guys, and it's like, I don't want to say I mean, that was fun, beating the liver loving dog shit out of him. That was great. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I started realizing, like, okay, well, let's go do some stuff, baby. You know what I mean? Like 44, let's go kick some ass somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, we'll get you the gold. Let me do some stuff. Like, let me get rolling too. Like, then all of a sudden it was just, you know, me and him. No army. You know what I mean? No, like everybody else kind of just fled. And it's like, I don't want to be, I felt like I was getting stuck, pigeonholed into a backup, stand behind the guy. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
little comic relief. You know what I mean? And then like come in and try to help him win at the cost of myself. You know what I mean? Like that's not what I am. You know what I mean? Like I'm far better than that. You know, far better.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? I started talking. You know, me and Trevor just started bullshitting. You know what I mean? And we just figured out like, dude, if we do this, who the hell's gonna stop us?
Nobody so far.
Honestly, who the hell's gonna stop us? Nobody. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Like being in the business that long. Like, so we've gone through these different eras where we had to fight hard to keep, you know, to try to earn a little spot. So we're used to it. We're used to it now. But now we're the veterans. We're the ones that, you know what I mean? Like, okay, we'll see if if we do what X, Y, and Z did to us when we were there. If we translated that over to some of these kids, you know what I mean? Like, how would they react? You know what I mean? Would they fight like we did? Would they get stronger and harder? Iron sharpens iron, you know what I mean? Like, or would they pack their bags up and run away because it hurt, you know, or because it's hard, or because it was like everybody's not super sweet on your side, you know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
We didn't get that a lot, you know what I mean? We got the crap beat out of us. We got trained, you know, freaking hands and faces, you know what I mean? It's not like this is different back then. I don't know.
Yeah.
I hate to sound like this old fart, you know what I mean? But brother, we are
two tough dudes, two big tough dudes.
Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. I didn't know I was going to come back and wrestle again.
Really?
Like, I'd torn my bicep. Like, I'd had some injuries. Like, my knees were giving out a little bit on me. Like, you know, I had some stuff that was really lingering. And I was a little worried. Like, when I was called to come back to the NWA, you know what I mean? I hadn't had one match yet. The doctor had cleared me, you know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Like, hey, okay, well, you can go back. And I was like, okay. And then like the next day I was on that pay-per-view, like jumping them, you know what I mean? And I'm sitting there and like, I hadn't worked in years. You know what I mean? Like, I had no idea if my body was going to hold up. I was like, well, if she's going, I'm going to do it fast. You know what I mean? I'm going to do it the first damn thing.
Yes.
Threw it. She hung on nice and tight. Thanks, Doc. You know what I mean? And then I was off to the races, man. As soon as I figured out that my body was going to hold up again, like I dropped a bunch of weight. Like, yeah, I ain't 330 pounds no more. You know, I'm back down to fighting weight. I'm taking it a little bit serious this time.
Yep.
Because I sure didn't before. You know what I mean? Like, I'm older now. I'm like, it's stuff setting in. Like 44, 45, you know what I mean? Like, in reality, I feel better than I felt in the last 10 years, body-wise. I feel like I'm ready to go. You know what I mean? Like, I'm about to surprise some folks. It's gonna be fun, man. I'm feeling great. So Trevor's feeling good. He's freaking throwing a punch better than he ever has before. Like I said, we're ready, man. We're gonna start mowing some fools.
Looking at like Crockett Cup, just the history of obviously Road Warriors, you know, they were Crockett Cup winners. Stan Luger won. I mean, legendary teams, the Briscoe brothers last year won it. Does that mean a lot to you guys? Crockett Cup winners,
bro. Like overall, all of my career, you know what I mean. You fight and you're at a certain level, and it's hard to collect a lot of accolades. You know what I mean? Unless you're, you know what I mean, up there. You know, and I remember growing up as a kid watching the Crockett Cup. Like, that's crazy, man. The names on that freaking trophy are like headlighting the WrestleMania in heaven. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like it's insane. Like even just taking a step back and thinking that my name's going to be on there with Trevor's now. Like that's pretty big, dude. That's pretty big for me. It's something they can't take back, you know. A lot of times in the wrestling business, you know, you get there and it's like, oh yeah, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do this. Welcome to the company. You're going to Raw, or you're going to ECW. You're gonna do this, or you got signed to Deep South, or you did that, or like, you know what I mean, wherever it is, TNA or whatever.
Yep.
It's like all of a sudden it ain't nothing like you think. All that stuff they told you is nothing. You know what I mean? Like it's just another chapter in that hard business. You know what I mean? That most people don't hear about, but when you actually do something that they can't take back, you know what I mean? That means something, man. Forever.
In the history books forever, yeah.
Forever, bro. As long as they're doing this thing.
Pretty awesome.
Pretty damn cool. You know? Oh, man, I get all emotional at my old age now.
When you go back, though, like you said, the injury you might not have, how did you get into the NWA? Was like Billy calling? Was Cardona calling? Like, how did you actually get back into the NWA? Because, like you said, you weren't necessarily 100% healthy.
Yeah, I had figured out, man. I was like, okay, I think I'm done. That's fine. You know what I mean? I was sitting there, I was like, well, shoot, I had over 20 years. That's unheard of. You know what I mean? Most people don't go that long.
Right.
You know, maybe 10% of the boys go that long, you know, if they're lucky. You know, to be able to handle it that long, their bodies, and without major injuries that are going to cripple you for life. Like, yep. I wanted to have a good life after wrestling. You know what I mean? I didn't really do it all that much for the money. You know, I wanted to do it. It was something I loved since I was a kid. It was like, it was one of those things that's hard to explain. You know, when you see something and like a lightning bolt goes off and it's like, you have to do this. You know what I mean? It's like, you don't really have a choice. You have to. I think I was 8 years old when that happened to me. You know what I mean? They're like, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? I just watched Hogan's first, you know, Hogan and Orndorff or something. You know what I mean? I was like, yep, I'm going to be like Hulk Hogan. I want to be a wrestler the next day. And I never changed my mind. It never changed. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. I love this business, dude. As crazy as it is, like from the Cardi start to the way, like to the business way it is now, there ain't nothing like it, man.
So did Billy talk you into it, though? Did he talk you back into it? Like, hey, you're not done. Like, is he the one?
Yeah, no, it was Pat. It was Pat Kenny.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Okay.
Yeah. Pat called me up and he was like, oh, hey, man, like we might have an idea for you. I was like, well, shoot, Pat. I mean, I hadn't been working, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm hurt. I just tore my bicep and it was like, I'm going to be out another 11 months, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like I got a long, pretty serious rehab coming. Like, you know, I was like, it's cool, man. I can do real estate down here. I'll sell some things and I'll, you know, do this and that. I'll be fine. I don't need wrestling all that much. You know what I mean? So now I'm going through my rehab, you know, starting to drop the weight, starting to feel good again. You know what I mean? Arm getting stronger. Like now it's like, okay, shoot, I'll step up and do a little cardio, you know, freaking Tom Brady. Thanks a lot. He came down here and won, was like playing all good. You know what I mean? He was old. I was like, oh, shit, he can do it. I can straighten up and fly right for a year or two and see maybe if I can get enough, you know, a little rub if Pat wants to call me, you know, whatever. So not even thinking, man, like got myself back to going. Didn't really think about anything other than my health, honestly. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, the day the doctor called, or like the day the doctor cleared me, I'm not even shitting you, man. On the drive home from the hospital or the doctor's office or wherever we were at, Pat called me again that day. You know what I mean? Like, and he's like, hey, you got your clearance or what? And I was like, I just freaking walked out of the doctor's office. And he's like, okay, we have an idea for you, blah, 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 blah. And that's just how I was like, all right, man, I'll give it a shot. I was thinking I'd have a few months to like get ready and like, all right, we're going to fly you out in 2 days and you're going to do this thing like with Trevor. And I was like, Trevor's a champ. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I got 20 minutes. I got 20 minutes in me. You know what I mean? To fight this guy. Like he's on his game. So I forgot, you know what I mean? Like how long I've been doing this.
Big title match too.
And how damn
big
fast
title
it
match.
comes, how fast it comes back and how the feelings get and you learn how to breathe in there. You know what I mean? Some people never learn it. You know what I mean? But it's like, I was pretty lucky. I learned it pretty quick. You know what I mean? You learn how to breathe in there. You learn how to move. You learn how to tell certain stories and do things impactful. And it came back fast, man. You know what I mean? That's what I was talking about all those years. Like it came back like a tidal wave of things that I wanted to try to do in my wrestling career that I didn't get to.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, you can't do that. You're too big. Don't do that. Don't do this. No, you can't do that. No, you're gonna make them look bad if you do this. You know what I mean? I was like, well, it's not my fault that I'm bigger than them and faster than them and can do really cool shit sometimes. You know what I mean? Even though I'm a bad guy, I'm not supposed to, but you know, I could have really changed the game if they'd have let me. You know what I mean? Like now, I'm a little older. I can't do all that really cool stuff that I used to do. You know, like that I used to be able to do. But I can still surprise some people with. I'm still pretty agile for a big dude. You know, I never got to show a whole lot of that when I was up like big time. So yeah, my mind's going crazy now, man. With all the stuff I've been wanting to do, it's great, man. Having an outlet to do it too. That was another thing I should have said. Oh my gosh. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm done with wrestling or whatever, blah blah blah. And like within a year, right? Like we go out, we have a bunch of friends, we do all this stuff, right? Within a year, I'm finding myself like trying to get in fights,
Yeah.
like all pin up, and I'm like, oh my god, I better get back into wrestling, otherwise I'm gonna hurt somebody. I'm gonna hurt somebody. You know what I mean? Like it's in my blood, man. It's crazy.
When you look at it, it's like, wow, like you know, you're out of the business. You're thinking about you're out of the business, and you come back in, they throw you into basically a world title feud with Trevor. Like, you know, you're teaming with Cardona and
Yep.
VSK. You're doing that whole thing. It's like, wow, you went from almost like out of the business, and they throw you right into the fire without even like
Yeah.
thinking, like, hey, are you healthy? Are you good? Where you been? You know what I mean? They just throw you right into the fire.
Mike Knox, baby.
Yeah.
I got it, dog. Oh, bro. Yeah. I was a little bit worried at the beginning, but once I got in there, it was all good to go, man. And it's like NWA, man. It was probably the only way I would have came back to like wrestle again. You know what I mean? Like if I walked into that locker room and it was a bunch of guys I had no clue who they were, like it's, you know, comfortability has a lot to say about it too. And I walk in there and Tyrus is in there and Chris Adonis is in there and guys that I've known for over 20 years. You know what I mean? Like shit, I came up with Adonis. You know what I mean? Like I was 18 years old. I think 20 when I met him. Like it was crazy. We were just babies out there in California. It
Right.
was nuts. We just sat down, we'll just sit there and it's crazy, man. Like Cardona. All it was like we took a Deep South picture in there one time and there was like 9 of us. It was crazy. You know what I mean? Like the history, like when I walked into there, like every veteran that's in there, like I've known them for a long time. You know what I mean? And we got a lot of history. It's great, bro. I love it. I love the locker room there. It's wonderful.
If you're looking like forward, who do you want to like face next? Are there the guys you want to fight? I mean, obviously you beat the Mortons, you beat the Midnight Riders, if you will, of Adonis and Tyrus, which was kind of the favorites in
Yeah.
certain aspect, because obviously
Yep.
Tyrus is the champ. You guys beat Blunt Force Trauma,
Yep.
who kind of the new Doom, if you will. I mean, so you're
Yep.
beating a lot of the team. Anybody out there like on your radar that you haven't wrestled yet, you want to wrestle?
Well, I think we might need to start stacking up some gold.
La Rebellion.
You know, why not? You know, if we get to call our shots, like that's the goal, correct?
Yeah,
Champions.
that's got to be in the cards. Yeah.
Champions. You know, like me and Trevor haven't been tagging that long. We won the Crockett Cup. We're getting smoother. We're getting crisper every single time we're out there. Like he said before, like Trevor was saying, which I didn't, you know, I go a lot by feel out there. And so does he. But when we were coming up through like the deep south there, or he was doing his stuff over in Japan, it's like, you have time. You know what I mean? Like you have time to gel as a team. You have hundreds of matches before you're up there. Hundreds. You know what I mean? Not to mention endless days of practice. 6 hours, Just you and him. Boom, 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 boom. Get to know everywhere they are. They're the length, where their punches come from. Like, know how to read if they're hurting, if they're tired. Get me in there. You know what I mean? Like, you have hundreds of matches and hundreds of hours. We don't got that here. You know what I mean? Like, the first time that we were in that ring together as a team was the first time we were ever in there together as a team. And the second match that we were in there together as a team was the second time that we'd ever been in there. You know, and keep going till now.
Yep.
That's only a handful. You know what I mean? That's maybe, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 matches. Wait till we do have 100 under our belt. What? You know?
Yep.
You think it's bad now? Oh, boy. Yeah.
Yeah, wait, we start really gelling.
I'm pretty happy, man. I think we caught lightning in a bottle, and I think we should hold on to it, and we're going to start piling. I think we should start piling up some gold, man.
Hey, you won the Crockett Cup, so you got to be able to call some shots there, and you know, obviously challenge La Rebellion for the tag titles. Yeah.
I'll let Trev do the talking.
Good idea.
Yeah, I'm gonna let him. I'm a little kooky sometimes, so yeah, I'll let Trevor do it. I could be asking for all kind of weird things.
Now, with you, you know, you're mentioning, you know, you go back with Adonis, you go back, you know, with a lot of the guys, but how did you actually like get on the WWE radar? Like, how did you actually get noticed all those years back to even like be on their radar?
Well, I lived out in California, you know what I mean? Like, I had no idea when I started about like indies or anything like that. So I was like saving my money to go to the power plant in '96. Like,
right.
Thank God I didn't. I would have been eaten alive up there, you know, like, so I run into this kid and like, blah, blah, blah. And I start training. Like, long story short, I mean, like WWE don't even come to the West Coast that much. You know what I mean? Like once a year, maybe, or twice a year. Like, so whenever they do come, it's a bum rush of guys that are out there, which I didn't know. And it was like, shit, I used to go and I would sneak in there, just like carry my bags and just walk right in where all the boys are walking in. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I just acted like I belong, like, oh, do. And then like I figured out that there was like the other talent, like people in there trying to get jobs and trying to like, so I just find any place like in the closet or anywhere. Like if they had the extra talent, I'd throw my stuff in there, get changed really fast, run out to the ring, and just try to stay out of the way, watch what they were doing. If they needed somebody to get in there and like get their ass kicked by somebody, like, you know, I'd jump in there. You know what I mean? If they need to just demonstrate something, like I'm jumping in there. Like, okay, well, we need a dark match. This kid can work a little bit. Like, throw him in there. Like I had a dark match against Maven. You know what I mean? I had like a dark match against like Sean O'Hare. You know what I mean? Like we did stuff like me. Like then I started moving up and did like velocity stuff. And then it was like every time that they would come over to California and Arizona, like that little block of thing that they do over there, like I would be in Phoenix the first night, snuck in. Then I'd be like in Tucson the next day. And then they would be like in El Paso. I'd be there. You know what I mean? Which those ain't short, you know, Phoenix and that's a short one, but the other one ain't. And then the next time they'd come up, they'd be like in San Diego, LA, San Francisco, which is a huge loop. That's so long. Boom, every day I'm there sneaking in, letting guys like hammerlock me and throw me in those, you know, whatever. Just trying to do anything I can, man. I went up as far as Reno. It was insane, man. We would drive 25, 26 hours just to sneak back there so you can get a look. It was, I mean, how different.
Yeah. Oh my God. Now. I can't imagine somebody doing that today and be like, wait, who's this guy? Yeah. What are you doing here?
Just showing who's this big, skinny idiot. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't 300 pounds then. Like when I was coming up, like I was like maybe 250, 240. I was kind of lanky, you know, like I got bigger later, but it was, bro, probably for 3 or 4 years, 5 years, I did that. And it was like, oh, hey, they're going to open this thing in Deep South. Like, by the end of it, I was doing like a lot of extra work. Like I was a cop a couple times with like Shawn Michaels. I was a judge in like the pose down, the Scotty Steiner or the Steiner Triple H like pose down.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Did that. Like they had me working Scott Steiner like the next night, like in like a heat match or something. Like, you know what I mean? So like they were starting to know, like every time I came around, they're like, all right, this dude's good. He's not going to hurt. No, he's not going to hurt our guys. He's going to sell. He's going to do what we tell him to do. Like, he's getting bigger. You know what I mean? Look at him. Every time he comes in, he's getting bigger. He's putting work in. He's like, so they just kind of started noticing me because I just chipped away, chip, chip, chip. You know what I mean? Like it was not a love affair.
Yeah, right.
They did not pursue me. I pursued them.
You were aggressive though. That's good.
Oh, bro, it was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. I'm so bad at like calling in and like talking to people too. You know what I mean? I just kind of do things. Like, yeah, I don't think that would fly in today's day and age, but that's how I ended up getting signed, man. Like, I had a couple dark matches. Like Tommy Dreamer saw something in me. Like Laurinaitis saw something. You know, he's like, "Oh, hey man, we're gonna do this thing down in Atlanta. It's gonna be a new school. Like, you're on the list." So I was like, "Oh shit, I'm on the list." You know,
Wow.
like, man,
Yeah.
I'm a made man now. Like I thought. Like 3 years later, of course, it hasn't opened, and we're just like, I already told everybody that I was about to be famous, and just sitting around working the same dumb shows, like always. But when it did happen, that was Deep South, man. Off to the races, bro. You
So
know.
technically, Johnny Ace is the one that actually signed you. Technically.
I want to say Dreamer. He's the one that called me. He's the one that sent the. I thought they were playing a joke on me. My tag partner at the time had to like wake me up and like convince me that it wasn't a joke, like to get outside and like get the package and like open up the old FedEx and
Yeah. Why'd you think it was a prank? Like, why'd you think it
that's
was
how
a
they used
joke?
to do it. You know what I mean? So it's like, hey, call Dreamer, call this number, you know, and then like I call, of course, and it's Finkel. Oh, like, you know, and I'm just like nerd heaven, like, oh my God, this is real. You know what I mean? Holy crap. So yeah, it was Dreamer, the one that was the official one that like called me. I think he was in charge of talent at the time.
It's pretty amazing because like you don't know what's going on, then you're just being really overly aggressive. I mean, you're just not taking no for an answer. Then all of a sudden you get the
Yeah,
contract. I mean, it's pretty awesome.
crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. And then by the time it was like after a couple of years of sneaking in, you know, then I didn't have to sneak in no more. You know, they knew
Right.
me, so I got to like, you know, I'd go through like, you know, Navajo, or I'd go through, you know, some guys down there, or I'd go through like Rick Bassman up in LA. Like
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
he had his fingers in there a lot up there. You know, he did a lot to help me out too. You know, just wherever I could get, whenever I knew I could get to, I would make sure I knew somebody in that place. You know what I mean? Like that I could count on. Like, oh hey, yeah, where's that Knox kid? We'll call this guy or call that guy. You know what I mean? And then it's just, you know, it was nice. It was nice, man. I really wish it didn't take so long. But, you know, shoot, I was wrestling for 10 years already by the time I got my deal. You know, I'd been to Japan already a bunch of times. Like I'd been down to Mexico, like I'd been like Puerto Rico, like I'd already been around.
Seasoned.
You know? So it's like I thought I was ready. I thought I was ready to rock and roll, man. And then I got there and it was like, okay, all right, dude, you ain't ready yet. Like, you're going to need a little more time. You got to polish up, brother. Like, so yeah, bro, my journey was long.
And then you end up in the crazy ECW, the new
Yeah,
ECW.
man.
Did you like that, or did you think like, okay, like it's great, you're getting a break, but then in the other, it's like this isn't really ECW. I mean, Bowles Mahoney's there and Sandman's there and stuff, but it's not really ECW.
Bro, I was so excited. And then it was like, because I was like, okay, sweet. I'm freaking nuts anyways. You know what I mean? I was like, oh my God, I'm going to get to show everybody. You know what I mean? Like how crazy I am. You know what I mean? Like, and then I got there and it was like the complete opposite. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know, man. It's like run out there, get caned by Sandman. You know what I mean? Run out there, have Sabu freaking jump through a table on you. You know what I mean? And it was like, go out there and, you know, freaking, you know, run the balls and, like, it's like, dang it, man. I was like, I am not getting to show anybody how crazy I am at all. You know what I mean? Like, and the freaking product wasn't great. So it was like, I was up there and like, I was trying to build myself through ECW is a good, like, no, you can put me in there against anybody. You know what I mean? And I'll be able to do it. You know what I mean? I'm solid. I just came out of Deep South, bro. You ain't going to blow me up. You ain't going to do nothing. I can call it in the ring. Shit, I can handle it. I'm not worried. I don't get nervous out there. I don't get scared. If something goes wrong, I can fix it. Don't worry. You know what I mean? Like, and then it's like, okay, you're going to do this thing with Punk. And I'm like,
right.
okay, here we go. Now we're gonna get to go. You know what I mean? Which we had a little run, but it was quick, and it was kind of like. Then it was like, bam, Survivor Series. You're gonna be on Randy Orton's team. You know what I mean? You're gonna go against D-Generation X, and I was like, oh yeah, pay-per-view. I get to show the world like I'm wrestling the top dogs. You know what I mean? Like ready to go. And then it was like 10 seconds, not even 10 seconds. I was like, the politic thing came in, bro, and it was just like after that, the wind was out of my sails. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, here's to get here, and this kind of sucks. Like,
Yeah.
Bro, but I got to live my dream. You know what I mean? I did the best I could with what I was allowed, like what I was given. I tried to do the best. I hope I made everybody look good. You know what I mean? Like, I was able to stick around. I had a hell of a lot of fun. And then time to move on. You know what I mean? Like,
yep. Yeah,
man.
that Survivor Series thing was terrible. Like, who's that guy? Or whatever they said.
Yeah.
Remember, like that was so bad. Yeah.
Was this guy in the match? Like, I thought I was going to be able to freaking show some people something. You know what I mean? Like, it was my chance to get it to even if I did have to lose a little bit. You know what I mean? Let me run a little. Just let me show people. They don't know who the hell I am yet. Nobody watches ECW. You know what I mean? Like, let me show them that I can do some shit. And then when I go back down, book me right. You know what I mean? Like, business. You know what I mean? Come on, man. But that ain't how it was. So, yeah, it was a real kick in the balls. You know what I mean? But then it was like, okay, I went out and got in trouble. Got a little punishment or whatever. You know what I mean? But,
yep.
And then I came back and they're like, hey man, we're gonna do something cool, bro. You're gonna go over to Raw. And I was like, okay, all right. They're like, we're gonna have you run with Ray. I was like, oh,
awesome. Yep.
Oh baby. You know what I mean? So then like after me and Ray started going, it was like it was on. You know what I mean? Like that was a nice like year and a half in that part of the career when I was like getting to do real matches with people who were like, these guys were over. You know what I mean? So it's not like a struggle. I was on Raw, so they were getting to know who my face and like my character was changing to this big hairy beast, and you know what I mean? Like it was going. It was starting to go. You know what I mean? And then just one thing leads to another, bro, and life starts happening. It's like before you know it, you're like, oh shit. I might be on my way out of here. Like, damn, that happened fast. You know,
in an instant. Yeah.
Like, oh crap, that happened fast. And then like took a little time off with Impact, like right into like a pretty cool, like, I don't know, man. Like I said, long journey, dude.
Did you ever think like, or did they ever tell you they had any plans for you, like the WWF, as far as like what they want to do with you? You know, like every guy's like, oh, you know, I talked to Vince or I talked to Johnny Ace and I'm winning the IC title or I'm doing this. Any thoughts or anything like that?
I never really spoke to him about it. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm not good at that politics side of it. I show up like, all right, brother, you're doing this, this, and this. You know what I mean? I'm like, gotcha. You know what I mean? No need for me to like, I don't know, man. Nah, not really. You know, there were some people that said that they wanted to work with me. Like Edge wanted to work with me, and like he was like trying to help me out. But by that time, it was like I had been losing on television for 3 years. You know what I mean? Like losing every match for 3 years, and then all of a sudden, like people want to work, and it's like, well, bro, that don't work. You know what I mean? Like you're the champ. Like you got Vic, you got huge angles and stuff. Like I was like, I'll try to think of something. You know what I mean? Like but like he was always so freaking nice to me, man. Everybody was. I love all the boys, man. There was never a dick. You know, never a dickhead. Like, yeah, pretty lucky, man.
What about Vince? Any interaction with him or not really?
Just a little bit, bro. Crazy genius, weird. You know what I mean? Like powerful. You know, he knows he's the one. He's got everybody's career in his hands. He knows it. Like he knew who I was. You know what I mean? Like he had his hands on like the first little part with like my first like day going on the TV, like where Sandman popped me with the cane or whatever. You know, to cut all my hair, like chopped my beard off, like did all this stuff, like made me this different character, like this whole character, just like boom. You know, like all that stuff you've been working on, for the last couple of years down there, forget it all.
Yeah, I didn't see it. Yeah.
Like, forget it all. Like
Yeah.
this and that. Like, I don't know, bro. It's business. Maybe I started coming into it with thinking it was forgetting that. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
yeah, it is about money. You know what I mean? It's about putting butts in seats, and it's like it's his vision. You know what I mean? So whatever his vision is, it's his company, bro. Like, that's what it is. You know?
Yep.
Same thing with Billy. Except for Billy lets you run. It's like, I'm not here to tell you who you are. You know that. Be it. You know what I mean? Like, and you know what? You want to talk about a breath of fresh air. Like, well done.
Yes.
Well done, Billy.
Yes. I like that. No scripted promos either, which I
love
like.
it. Oh my God, I love it. Sometimes, hey, some of them are stinkers for me, and some of them are pretty good. You know what I mean? But it's like, that's what I'm feeling at that exact moment. You know what I mean? I love it, dude.
Yeah, rather than somebody who doesn't really know you is saying what you should say, but hey, that's not what I would say.
Hey, this is what you do in a fight, and then this is what you would say afterwards. Oh,
right.
Yeah? Oh, really? How many fights have you been in?
Yeah. You sure about that? Yeah.
Oh, shoot, bro.
Speaking of fights, I loved the Aces and Eights. I don't know about you, if you like Knux and the Aces and Eights, but I love the Aces.
I loved the Aces and Eights. I just hated the name. I was like, oh,
really,
guys. I was like, come on, guys. Like, you can come up with something cooler than that. Like, but it was awesome, bro. I got to go in there after a couple of years. Like, I was over it. You know what I mean? Like, went and took some vacations. Like, spent a bunch of time with who's now my wife. You know what I mean? Like, it was real nice to just decompress. And then right when I went back in there, I kind of got tricked by Doc, you know, my Gallows.
Yep.
Like, he was like, oh, hey, man, like, I hadn't worked again. Like, I hadn't worked in years. He was like, hey, I got a show down here in Guyana, this tropical paradise, like, whatever. And, like, he's like, I got a free thing. Like, I'll pay you good. He's like, you and me will work. It'll be easy. You know? So I was like, oh, well, shoot, bro, I don't really work. You know, I don't really wrestle that much anymore. I was like, but I'll come down and hang out. So went down there, had one match, of course, all over the freaking building, blood everywhere, like, this crazy ass match between me and Gallows, you know what I mean? And then, like, a week later, that was the first match I'd had in like 2 years or 3 years. And then the week later, he's like, hey, I got to try out at TNA. And I was like, sweet, bro. And he's like, I can't go. I told him you would. You know what I mean? And I was like, what the hell you mean you told him I would? And I was like, there's one thing about, like, you know, doing a Puerto Rico match like down there in Guyana, you know what I mean? Like, yep. TV and, you know, cameras, they're going to know I'm fucking not on it. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
But once again, Mike Knox, baby. You know what I mean? Like, went in there, worked with Devon the first night, worked with Frankie the second night. They pulled me aside, said, we got this biker gimmick. You know what I mean? And were you ready? You're ready. Yep. Boom. That was it. Crazy. What the hell?
Off to the races. Yeah.
Off to the races, bro. And then I got to work with Hall of Famers, my heroes. Like, I loved that time. Like, it was awesome, bro. Got to work with Angle, got to work with Sting, got to, like, come on. You know what I mean? Like, as a nerd, as a wrestling guy that fell in love when he was 7 years old and, like, never fell out of love with it. That's pretty cool. You know what I mean? Like, I had their posters on my wall. And then I get to beat the crap out of them. You know what I mean? It's like,
it's awesome.
Pretty damn cool, man.
I know a lot of people were like ripping Aces and Eights, but if you actually watch it like episodically, and I think somebody, or maybe even TNA, put the video package together, like, it actually made sense, like what was going on and the turns and the different things, and you guys getting on. It actually did kind of piece together pretty nicely. I know people would, oh, Aces and Eights, blah blah, but it actually was pretty good the way it was done.
It was the way that it was introduced and like the way it started going, it was really, really cool. And actually the ratings were going up.
Yes.
When we were doing our thing, they were hitting pretty good. And then, you know, it does as it does. You know what I mean? Like, it gets stale and, like, the people get tired of it. And it's like, then it's like you level out a little bit and then you try to go bigger, but it doesn't work. And it's like they can tell you're pushing it. And then it's like, One guy leaves the office, another guy comes in. It's not his idea, so he's like, "Okay, well, this is gonna happen now. Like, we're gonna kind of phase these guys out, and like, you know what I
Right.
mean? Like, it was awesome, man. It was my favorite time. Like up until they started phasing us out, of course. And
Yep.
even then, it wasn't all that bad. You know what I mean? Like, it was still pretty cool. I still got to work with the good, like, you know, with all the best guys on the roster, which is all I ever really want to do, anyways. You know?
Yep.
Yeah, I like Aces and Eights a lot more than I like the Menagerie. That's for damn sure.
The menagerie, the freak, and whatever else is going on with the
Mm.
menagerie. Yeah.
I love those guys. You know what I mean? Like the idea of the idea of it could have been done better than it was. Like,
Like sideshow freak thing.
yeah, shoot, man. Yeah. Oh well. I still talk to Steve. You know what I mean? Like I still talk. Just saw Tanea. You know what I mean? I still talk with her a little bit. You know what I mean? Like I love the guys. Like Rob's doing his jam. Like I always love Rob. You know, just they just kind of threw it together, and it was like, right when I was doing like contracts talks, and it's like, you know, I was doing all this kind of stuff, and it was like, I got a nice good deal, and then they switched from like pop to another network. Like it was all this weird stuff was going on like at the time, and it was just like the actual idea of the crazy circus folk, you know what I mean, and like it kind of got thrown by the waysides. Like Tanae was supposed to do the fire thing. That was going to be her gimmick the whole time. You know what I mean? Like she does like this cool like fire dance things, like
Yep.
close the fire and all that crap. Can't get the regulations. Can't do it. You know what I mean? Like they're not allowed to have fire in the building. So it's like now she's running sparklers, so that's dumb. And they're like, oh hey, we're gonna have the freak fucking bending all these huge things and like doing all this stuff. Like, and then they can't do that either. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, we're gonna have these guys on the stilts, and then one guy falls, and it's like, well, we can't have that either. Well, we're gonna play your music through the whole thing. And I was like, well, that's great. But it's a 10-minute match. That means I'm gonna have to take heat. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna just go in there and get my ass kicked to my own song. That's so stupid. You know what I mean? Like, who the hell's gonna get behind this? Like, why am I even a baby face? This sucks. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
let us be weird, and then later on, like, I don't know, bro. It was just completely mishandled the whole time. You know what I mean? And I was kind of
Yep.
like over it.
With Aces and Eights, was there ever like an end game? Like I know Bully Ray ended up being the leader, but it almost felt like somebody else was supposed to be the leader. Like he could have been the top guy of the rest, but it seemed like I don't know, Bischoff or Hogan, somebody's supposed to be the leader of the group, and they never really established who was like the boss.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. I thought it was supposed to be Bischoff, but it never, you know, I mean, it just never came to pass.
He left, right? And then whoever, yeah, he was
Yeah, he was
gone, right?
gone, and then what was his name? Jason. I think Jason was. There's another guy there, and like he tried to get it. He tried to held it together for us. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden he was gone. So it was like, shit. Then another guy comes in, then he's gone. You know what I mean? So it's like, how are you supposed to build up any kind of real story if every single person that comes in, like, it's got a different idea,
Yeah.
you know? And none of them are really there. It's not really wasn't their idea in the first place. So it's like, they don't really give a crap about it. Like, they're just kind of like, nah. Yeah, that's what happened at the end there. But I don't know, man. As far as they kept it even from us, like who the president was supposed to be, or who was coming in. Like when Bully and Devon came in,
Yep.
we didn't even know. Like they had us in like different dressing rooms away from the talent. Like they were doing it old school at the beginning. It was kind of cool. You know what I mean? Like it was like me and Wes and Garrett and Gallows. You know what I mean? And then like Anderson kind of came, and then Anderson came in. So we were like doing our thing, but we didn't know the whole time about the, you know, about Dudley's, you know, like, I don't know. It was nice, man. They tried to do a nice surprise, which we all dug because we're all kind of old school guys. You know what I mean? Like we like that, but yeah, man, it's, we were running pretty good there for a minute with it. I got nothing. I got no bad, except for like in the end when they kind of just fizzled everything out without much of a story. You know, it just kind of was what it was.
I kind of liked it just because it was so different. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? We hadn't seen something like that in a long time in wrestling, like a group, and then who the hell are these guys? They're under the mask, and then each week it's kind of unveiling. I know that kind of like Taz probably shouldn't have been in it because he's the announcer, or D'Lo's not really shouldn't be in it because he's just like,
yeah,
an agent. But like all the other stuff, it kind of makes sense. It was kind of, I don't know, it was different at least.
yeah. It was different, man. We had like it was fun, man. It was fun for a while, real fun. Kind of like always, you know what I mean? It's always fun for a while. And then it gets
Yeah, and
ruined.
then somebody's got to mess it up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then it gets
yeah,
ruined.
yeah. So as we hit the wind down here, we head towards the finish. Obviously, NWA, huge show, 7/8/23 here.
Yeah.
HP cares for Cooper. Cooper Roberts is going to be a big time show. What are you like most looking forward to just for NWA? I know you said you love working the NWA. Like, what are you most looking forward to just for, going to the shows and stuff?
Honestly, the fans, dude, they're the best. You know, we get to run into. We're doing some smaller arenas where it's very personal. You know, like very personal. They hear everything. They hear every damn thing I say out there, and I hear everything they say out there. You know what I mean? When it's done, like we're walking the same sidewalks to get out of there. You know what I mean? Like they appreciate the old school wrestling just as much as we appreciate doing it for them. It's pretty, yeah. That's what I'm impressed. The crowd there last time was off the chain, man. Chicago's always awesome. You know what I mean? It's a wrestling town, and the cause couldn't be better. You know what I mean? Everybody's gonna be happy to be there. Everybody's gonna give it they're gonna be. It's gonna be live, man. I'm really, really excited.
You and Trevor versus Daisy Kills and Talos again. You guys are going to be wrestling them, so that should be good. That should be fun. Always fun when you and Murdoch are together as a team. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, heck yeah. I wonder how many giants Trevor's fought. I have to ask him. I think I fought at least 4 guys that are over 7 feet. Yes.
Who are they? Big Show?
Let's see. Show, Kali, Titan. There was a giant in California. What the hell was his name? I don't know, but he kicked my ass. I know that. I know he beat me up pretty good, but I can't remember.
Was it for UPW when Bassman used to bring in all those giants?
Oh, forgot about Nathan Jones.
There you go.
5. Morgan, 6. Oh, who else? I don't know. You can't really count Test as a giant, right? No.
Nah, it's what, we 6'8" probably.
Yeah, no, they got to be at least 6'11" or taller. Maybe 5, maybe 5 or 6. I can't remember how many I just said. I think that'd be. So I'll be ready for this 7-footer.
What's great, Cully? Your favorite there out of those guys?
Bro, like I said, I love all the boys. You know what I mean? Kali, he after WWE was done, he brought me over to India a few times.
Oh, awesome!
I was in a movie over there, even. You know what I mean? Like, so we kept in touch a little bit. I liked him. He came down to Deep South too, believe it or not. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
So we go back a ways too, man. Yeah, Kali's the best, man.
He's such a freak too, because usually like guys that are big, not that Big Show's not in great shape or Andre the Giant was in good shape when he was younger, but Khali was jacked.
Before we end up like going off the air, I want to give Show some credit. ECW, when he was the champion there, he was bleeding every night. He was going through tables. Like he was awesome. He was big at that point.
Yep.
Like big, baby. You know what I mean? He was doing it every night out there, and like he never got a lot of credit for being the ECW champ for as long as he was. But I really, he was really working hard for us out there, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, I definitely had some.
That was the last thing I wanted to say. I don't know why it just popped in my head, but it did.
I was just thinking, I was like, Khali was like, I don't know, for whatever reason, like you're not like 7'2", you're not usually like ripped like that, but Khali was like insanely in shape.
That was great, man. He was like a bodybuilder, bro.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah, he was good. I'd work out with him every once in a while. It's quite a sight to see what he has to do to work out sometimes.
Like, amazing. And you don't see too many guys in India that look like that.
Oh no, that's tough. Yeah, that's tough over there. That's for sure.
I know people get a hard time, but his look, I mean, that look alone is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's great, man. Worth $1 million.
So got to mention, of course, NWA Fight. Go to Fight, watch the NWA on there. Then, of course, NationalWrestlingAlliance.com or NWA Ticks for more information on the NWA. Before we go, where can everybody find you and everything that you're up to?
Oh, brother. Just let me see, what is it? Knoxy _78 Instagram. Like I said, I try my best. You know what I mean? Look me up on Facebook. Is that what the kids are doing now?
Yeah.
There's a couple there.
Instagram, maybe?
Yeah, Instagram. Is that what the kids are doing?
Kinda, yeah.
Knoxy 78. I think maybe it's my menagerie picture. I don't know. I'm just kidding.
Hey, you got to do a better job, right? You got to do a better job.
Stay up with it a little bit when I can.
Hey, you were saying you got to do a better job on there for sure.
Don't tell me what to do, brother.
Who am I, Vince? What am I doing here?
I'm a free bird, brother. You got to let me spread my wings and fly.
But it's awesome that you and Trevor, obviously the Crockett Cup 2023 winners, are teaming up again and beating everybody out there. I mean, the Fixers were no problem. The Country Gentlemen were no problem. You guys are just mowing them down.
Cut off. We got cut off with the Gentlemen. We didn't get to finish that job.
Oh, true. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
but they were no problem for you guys, though.
Yeah, I think we got them.
Yes, yes. But Knoxy, thank you so much for all the time today. Really appreciate it. And of course, like we mentioned, Cares for Cooper, HP, Highland Park, Chicago, Cares for Cooper. Cooper Roberts and his family will get all the proceeds for that show. NWA Charity Show 7/8/23. Of course, Trevor Murdoch and Mike Knox versus Daisy Kills and Talos. So awesome stuff there. Mike, thank you so much.
Oh, yeah. You better lace them up, boys.
Thank you so much for all the time, Mike. Really appreciate it.
Appreciate you, brother.